Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday of a long weekend here in Australia, and I hope you can't hear the background noise through the wall because my husband is watching a movie and I'm in here having fun. And this will be part one of a craft with me for the used envelopes junk journal tutorial, and I'm really doing it for the Junk Journal Junksters Down Under Facebook group, a swap project. And we have to use 8 coffee dyed envelopes and 4 coffee dyed pages at the very minimum. So I did a construction tutorial. I don't know how clear that was or how helpful. And I've completed a tie. Now I decided that I would wrap this around. This is made of cloth and it's made of an envelope. And what I did was, because I was toying with the idea of using that long skinny envelope like we used on the folio, this one, like we used on the front of the file folder folios that we've just finished, which everybody really loved. Anyway, I was thinking of using this as a closure, which I've done time and again in other ways, and I was just sort of folding it, and what I've done is I've folded it in half so that I've got a pocket there and I've got a pocket there, and then I've got another pocket in between the fabric and the bag. So it's just actually fold it over like that, and then fold it over like that again, like that. That's how I've done it. I've just folded it like that. And then I thought, well, how am I going to attach the closure? So I took one piece of calico and I stitched the ribbon right across the middle of it, and then I've got another piece of calico and put on the back so that you can't see the ribbon. But I mean, I wouldn't mind if you could see the ribbon. I just thought that was a nice way to finish it off. And then on the top of the bag, I've done a collage of some different papers on top of an old piece of vintage tablecloth. Just a tiny little bit of embroidery there. So I think that looks really, really cool. And then when it's done, it'll just probably crisscross at the back, I'm thinking, and then can be just tied at the front. That's my thought process so far. And of course, the whole thing can be just removed at a later date or just slid off even. So that's how far I've got. And then what I've done is, this was the middle we made yesterday when we just constructed it, and I've just put little flips and flaps and the paper in the middle, and I haven't done anything with that at all. But that could be the journal on its own, and then that could just be the front and back covers. But I decided to use this really large envelope as the big cover. So what I decided to do was, this is coffee dyed, obviously. It was a big business size envelope. I know you're going to ask me the size, but I can tell you the size of what I've chopped some off the end. So what I'm left with is 25 centimeters by 23 centimeters. And I slid it across the bottom so that I could open it up and then cover it with those beautiful encyclopedia pages all inside to make it a little bit more sturdy. And I've also put another piece of thin paper along the fold here which will be the outer spine. I'm just debating now. I'm thinking I'll have each side open so that front and back there will be a really large pocket, and I can stitch closed the bottom here, and while it's open, because I'm going to sew that closed, I could just open that out and then stitch all the way around, and then just do that the last and close the whole lot up together, if you can see what I mean. So I've covered the inside with the paper, and that has really stiffened it a lot, but I'm thinking we'll definitely cover the front again because that's another layer, and then I'll do this side. I'll do the back as well. So when that's done, what am I going to do on the inside? I'm thinking that now is a good idea to, before I stitch it all together, is determine what I want on the front and back covers. And I was thinking, okay, right, well, there's what have we got? We could have a belly band, we could have a really deep pocket, we could have several pockets. We could do, because this is an envelope journal, I think it should be all about envelopes. Envelopes, 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 envelopes. I didn't need to say it that many times, sorry. I can be boring, can't I? So what shall I do here with envelopes? You might remember in one of our folios we did a waterfall envelope flip. I really like that idea. We could do a waterfall envelope here and a waterfall envelope here, and then that's even more envelopes. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of work, but you know, whoever gets this, I'm sure will appreciate it. But wouldn't it be cool now to get these in place, and then I can stitch them in even if I have to. Yes, so that's what I'm up to. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put you on pause, and I'm going to glue down papers inside and out. I'll still leave this open, and then we'll figure this out regarding the how many little envelopes I've got to do a waterfall. So we'll be right back in a minute. See ya. Do you know, I nearly forgot to turn you back on. I'm so sorry. But anyway, I've been thinking, this time I've tried to remember what I learnt from before making them. I forgot the envelopes, the flip-flop waterfall envelopes. I forgot to put the closure down underneath them first, so I have learned. You'll be happy to know I have learned. I've got some seam binding, and before I forget, the seam binding was 30 inches long, so I've cut 2 strips of that, and I'm just about to put down my envelopes, and then it'll be nice and soft, and we can just tie it in a bow to keep them from flip-flopping around. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to go straight in and glue this down over the top of that seam binding. I put down all the pages and front and back. Make sure it's straight. There, that'll give it some good. And that's far enough away. Is that straight? You're probably going, no, it's not straight. I don't think it is either. Uh-oh. Well, guess what? It's going to have to be a little bit crooked. It's going to have to look like it's an old lady at 100 years old. I hope you can't hear that loud movie through the wall. Okay, so where do I want it? About here, I'm guessing. About here. Don't want to take it up the whole page, but yeah. Now, glitter glue can be really unforgiving. It's sort of going to have to look a little bit crooked now, isn't it? Oh well, down it goes. Down it goes. Okay, so that's our anchor. How's this one looking? That could be a little bit stronger. And one more to do. Seems to be awful long. Okay, try and okay, that's all I can do, isn't it? That is all I can do. It's just, these are so cute. I don't have very many left of these gorgeous little envelopes, so 6 of these is an awful lot to sacrifice from your stash, but I think it's going to be, well, I don't have to put 3 on the inside cover. I could come up with something else there, couldn't I? Right, and then that could just be just loosely tied. The seam binding is thin enough that it won't have any bulk to this, which is nice. There. Right. Well, that looks kind of sweet, doesn't it? I like that. I coffee dyed, I splattered them with some walnut ink and water. And I didn't actually see, what was I saying before? How clever I was to remember my mistakes. I forgot to ink around. Oh, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Oh well, I did get excited about that, so that's why. Maybe there was a reason. Subconsciously, maybe I just like creating mistakes, so then I have to rectify them. Yeah, so maybe not another 3 on the inside here. Although, how adorable does that look? That looks so adorable. I love the look of it. And it's so light. What to do, what to do, what to do. It would be kind of special, wouldn't it? It would be kind of special. But maybe I could do a bigger envelope. I want to try and save my little ones. Isn't that mean of me? Actually, they could be weighted a little bit to help hold them down. That's kind of cute. Interesting. Interesting. I'm just going to put you on pause because now I can hear the movie playing a song and I don't want to get into trouble from YouTube. Hang on a minute. Okay, so what I've done, I've just come back from the machine. I opened out the whole thing and I stitched up the two long sides and then I folded it and then I stitched up the bottom. And so I now have two ends free. I found this lovely big canvas pocket that fits perfectly and sideways, so that is actually glued down with the seam binding underneath it. And so we've got, lots and lots of envelopes and pockets. So there's actually 3, 4, 5 envelopes just in this section, and then we have all of these. And I was just debating whether I could use my sewing machine to stitch it all in, but I think from feeling it now it's going to be a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I'll just turn my sewing machine off. Right, I'm going to look after these beautiful pieces of equipment. Okay, now what to do here? I might just set this aside and figure out, I'll just take out the 4 pieces of coffee dyed paper. That will be our journaling piece. And I'll have a look at the construction from how we did it and see if I'm happy with that. Actually, why don't we just take that out and then have a look at these. These should be stitched in and maybe reinforced. So let's glue them in. Stitched in, I meant glue. Let's glue them in. This will be tricky because it's art glitter glue, but so worth it if you can manage it. Dries so quick, and you can reposition, but yeah, it's not all the time. You've got to be super fast. Okay, so if I just okay, that's good. That's in. Okay, that's good. Excellent. I don't know whether I want to glue that down yet or not. That might turn out to be helpful. Yeah, it might actually, mightn't it? Right, so now where do I want this? I chose envelopes with flaps, but you don't necessarily have to. I just like it because they're so much easier to hinge. I could pop that one in that way. So that fits all right. So then we've got something that opens that way. Okay, like that. I could just glue that there and hinge it so that it opens out. hinged over the page too. There's just so many ways to do it, isn't there? Actually, they could both hinge over the page. This time the little one under the big one. There's nothing to say in any rules that you have to have the big on the bottom and the small on the top, is there? Is that too easy? I don't know. So could hinge that one, this one. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Okay, so if I just glue that pretty much right there, I wonder, oops, I don't know where that was now. Anyway, I shall endeavour to glue this down. You won't be able to see a thing I'm doing because I can barely see myself. And if I'm quick and lay it down, yeah. Oops, daisy. Is that right? I think it's right. Okay, and then to refold that. Oh no, that went that way. Goodness me, I'm all topsy-turvy, but that is in. That's in. This is pretty flimsy. It's an old airmail, so you know airmails were so thin. Okay. Put a bit, let's put something there so that it doesn't stick. So that was there, and then how did we have this one? It was hanging over the page this way, wasn't it? I think. Well, guess what? It is now. It is now. Okay. Take that off. I was trying to think of a nice. I saw Kay do monochromatic in the folio, stacked envelope folio, and I loved that. I love the monochrome. So I was thinking just a really, yeah, maybe a neutrally kind of little journal, because it really is. Yeah, we're still going to stitch the pages in the middle there. have that on that side. And then this one on the inside. Really going to have to be strengthened or it's not going to last much time at all, this poor little envelope. Maybe this could go in this way. No, too wide. Could always cut it. There's nothing to say we can't cut it, is there? That could go on that. Have 3 that side. And just have 1 this side. We can do that. Doesn't have to be even. I don't know why, but let's do it. Yes, a long weekend in Australia. I think there's a lot of football games, grand finals on. The October long weekend, so we get tomorrow off as well. And then we're off on our own little holiday for a week on Wednesday, so that's exciting. I need a break. Well, I don't need one, but I want one. I want a nice break so I can find goodies and stock up on supplies, maybe in the Big Smoke. There's a Japanese stationery store now opened in Newcastle, so yay. I'm pretty sure we'll be going there. And just to get inspiration, maybe a nice maybe an art gallery. I love the art galleries around Newcastle. Yeah. And antique places, maybe museums too. Who knows? Or maybe just chilling out on the beach. They've predicted though, for those of you who are not in Australia, we're now being warned of heat waves rather than just high temperatures. Apparently now they're expecting surges of hot air, big heat waves. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, so how many? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 envelopes. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 envelopes. I think I might have fit the brief. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of German paper. Might just do a little one down the middle one. Don't know why, but just do it like this. Might be able to hinge some more paper onto it. That'll be better. Okay, and we need to secure that in there. I'm still thinking a sewing machine would be so fast. So cool. And then sew it into the big one, because I don't think, or just sew it all into here, and be done with it. is really cool. And topper on the top. That is cool. Okay, so should we do it all at once? I reckon we can. I've done thicker. You know, I would have liked to stitch it in with the seam binding. Wouldn't that be pretty? And have the bow on the outside or on the inside of the signatures. Actually, you know, before I do anything, I think we should put some nice stamps on these pages, or some stencils, or yeah, maybe stenciling. I like stenciling. That's my makeup brush I use, which is pretty cool. And you need one of those. And the vintage photo. And a pretty stencil. Just fix up the glue. Better watch the time too, because we get really carried away, can't we? Maybe I'll just pause this. Okay, so here I'm just finishing off some stencils. I found a nice little briar rose. So I've briar rosed on the back and on the front, and then just in the center of the signature. So now I'm thinking, if I want to put anything like pockets or anything and stitch them in, now is the time to do that. Now, where's that little bit? I had a little bit of calico floating around. I've got some ticking. Oh, that's badly pulled. That'd make a good belly band down one of the pages. Actually, what can I do that? What can I do with that? Could have been like a tuck spot. I had a little strip of, I've got some lace. I had a nice little bit of calico. It's gotten lost. Oh, there's that other bit of fabric. That could be a pocket. Ah, now that's interesting. That's the end of the long envelope that we've been using. That's a ready-made pocket, and it's an envelope. I mean, hello, look at that. I mean, seriously. Match made in heaven, isn't it? That's adorable. Actually, why not? It's just almost perfection. But I think it's too wide for my little journal. That can be easily fixed by Jove. We could even put a pocket. make something a corner tuck. Yeah, an envelope corner tuck. I think tall is the way to go with the side opening, perhaps. Could put it in the middle of the page to give it extra stability. And then people can write top and bottom. It'll just have to be trimmed off, I think. Right. Well, you know what else we could do is we could put 2 holes in that, still have it as a pocket, and put 2 holes here and have it as a flip. Or we could have it as a, oh well, okay, well you see my thinking here, because if we have a pocket, a hinged pocket, you can write behind it. What do you think? I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Well, I reckon. That could come off about there. I just want to tear this very, very, very precisely. There's a lot of paper in behind there. Right. And I can even stitch down a bit of nice trim underneath that. So that'll be hinged there. And put some trim on it, which I like. Okay, let's go there. Now this will have to be straightened up, unfortunately, because I like the way that winged out there. Ah, well actually, if I just cut it up here, that should fold all back. I'm glad I didn't try again. I'm glad I didn't glue that down. I was going to glue all those folds down the other day. And how about we take the ruler, see if I can't get organised here, and then just take that down. Right, now see what happens. Oh, interesting. Okay, oh I know why, because the image came down just a little bit inside that. Where was that? Somewhere here. That's better, and then that winged out, and we can chop that down to a bit shallower pocket. Down to say there. Yeah. doing this, taking the time to do that because I really want that torn, rough looking edge. Okay, this is probably going to be it for this session. I wanted to get some content up ready so that while I'm away, I will actually, no, I can't post this until after the 20 something, until when that's you know, the cut-off date for the swap, so it may not go up until the 1st of November. Oh, I'm excited, I want it up now. Now, was I going to hinge this or not? I'm thinking we should hinge it. I should hinge it. For the simple reason that it is an envelope journal, and so I like to write, and when I like my stuff to have a lot of writing in it. You need options. I reckon if we use this fabric, hinge. Why don't we see? Why don't we see what happens? It's only paper. I'll use the art glitter glue because it is stronger. I was nearly going to get the glue stick. I'm just going to, whoops, pop that along there like that. Try and get that nice and straight. Okay. Where's my little glass block? Here it is. Okay. Get really good contact on that. Make it strong as anything. Okay. Then we can just glue that down, and that can hinge. Well, actually, let's just stop it going over a page. Could hinge over, couldn't it? Hinge it over. Like so. Anyway, I will let that dry, and I'll give that some thought, and I think I might just say cheerio for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Please click that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for all coming back and having a good old craft with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. And if you haven't subscribed, please join us. We're having so much fun. Thank you. See you later. Bye.